Gentlemen, und jetzt zu einer kleinen Runde schwarzer Bildschirm mit schöner Musik. Okay, wobei, ich glaube, ja, jetzt kommt es endlich. So, das muss gedauert, bis es heißt bekommt. Ja, wir kommen auf dem neuen Kanal hier. Ich habe ihn jetzt gerade kürzlich eröffnet. Es ist ein kleiner Kanal für ganze schöne, all die schönen Visual-Fans out hier, die gerne mal ein bisschen, die wir schon uns ansehen, bevor es sich irgend so ein illegaler unter... Nein, das habe ich jetzt gerade nicht gesagt. Nein, habe ich nicht gesagt, nein. Ja, jedenfalls schauen wir uns heute mal ganz kurz an Sakuras Boobs, Spirit. Spirit, nicht Boobs, Spirit. Ja, ich werde ein komplettes Playthrough machen davon. Und dann starten wir direkt. Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Yet as people grow up, they often are forced to realize that obtaining that dream is just that, a childish illusion that is simply impossible to reach out for. At least that's what most people say. Hallo? Okay, ich glaube, ich muss ja ein bisschen warten, warte. Ja. Then what about those who do accomplish their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? That. Okay, sichtbarer Vater. Every man has a dream they want to accomplish. Da wäre ich nie drauf gekommen. However, there's something really important you should know, my boy. That a real man doesn't give up on their dream, no matter what overwhelming changes they might face. Weiser Satz. I still remember those foolish words that I used to say. Yet, despite their silly nature, I found myself inspired by them. Yeah, sure, mate. Ever since I was a child, I was interested in martial arts. It didn't matter whether it was following Imagine television or reading a manga about some heroic martial artist. Gibt Mangas? Ja, okay, die gibt es natürlich schon, aber ich habe noch nie so einen gelesen. Und ich weiß auch nicht, so meine Art von Mangas ist. It always been a dream for me to become a martial artist someday. Of course, it was a bit childish to admit I wanted to learn martial arts to be able to be a hero. While at my age I already came to understand superheroes were a part of our imagination, I still held the desire to use my power for others, their sake. Die Sätze kommen mir teilweise schon grammatikalisch grottig vor, aber selbstverständlich kommen sie nur so vor, deswegen ist eine Art von Englisch, die ich noch nie gehört habe. My name is Gujiken Takair. Alter, blame mich bitte nicht für meine Aussprache. 17 years old, rising to the star. That's not me doing some smart talking. I'm actually about to take part in a competition 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career at an international level. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I loved. But the same excitement also made me feel incredibly nervous. While those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice resounded from outside the window. Oi, Takakun, get your butt in gear! Oh Gott, wie habe ich das gerade ausgesprochen? Koyomi, oh Gott, seine Frau. Oi, Takakun. Oh Gott, okay, ich kann nicht eine hohe Stimme machen. Get your butt in gear! Oi, I'll be right there, Koyomi. Not wanting to keep Koyomi waiting while I quickly dashed towards the front door to let her in, not even realizing that I was still in pajamas. Was natürlich nicht gerade die beste Idee ist, in Anbetracht der Tatsache, dass das scheinbar eine Dame ist und allein schon der Wortwahl her vermutlich nicht gerade die freundlichste. Just a moment, Koyomi. Go to grab my shoes and then we can go to school. Really? I don't even know. Our school had a strict uniform. Oh Gott, okay, Gott, ich geb's auf. Ich geb's auf, um Frauen zu äußern. Überhaupt erst was zu äußern. Or sleepwear policy, dummy. Nice jammies, by the way. Did you borrow them from your mom? For a moment, my eyes drifted downwards, noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas. I let out a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book here in the West. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like yeah. Oh, und wer weiß das? Mumbling those words, I started stripping out of my clothes, seemingly not minding the presence of the girl behind me at all. Entweder A, der Typ ist total perversling, oder B, sie ist seine Kindheitskollegin, Freundin, Bekanntin, was weiß ich. That one time, you know, it was super hot that evening, and jeez, warm me before you stood in front of me, you idiot. You didn't mind it when we were little. Perhaps you want me to turn around instead? Oh Gott, komm schon, Junge. Das geht eine Schrittchen zu weit. Eine ganze Schrittchen. Wobei, in der 200 ganze Schritte, ist halt egal. No, stop, don't make me kick your... Okay, also ist wirklich auch so eine Judo-Martial Artistin, die wirklich ein bisschen besser sitzt, ja. Gut. Deciding at tea stir enough, I quickly pulled on my pants and resumed working on the remaining few items of clothing before I was suitably dressed for school. Das Mini-Röckchen und nur einmal kurz ein bisschen Mann. Besides, I had a reason for being so distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? It's that upcoming match. I got no idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I started making up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the Apocalypse genre. Alter, ich kann nicht Englisch. Ich kann kein Englisch mehr. Alright, the judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches and you kick butt. And of course, if you're really worth, you could always pray. Pray. Beten. Bitte mich verarschen? What? Don't tell me you don't know. It's one of the school's legends. There's some shrine up in the forest that if you pray to it, it will give you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed to it the night before her exam and she got 100%. Ist zwar, wenn sie 100% schafft in der Prüfung, was vermutlich ziemlich einfach ist, da man gut intelligent ist, aber das muss eine gute Intelligenz dafür sein. Das hat nicht allzu viel mit Glück zu tun. A shrine that is said to give you good luck. Sounds bogus to me. But at this point, I'll be trying out anything, I guess. Maybe I'll talk to our classmates to get the location of the shrine. I'm not exactly in the mood to get lost in the forest and turn into a Japanese Tarzan. Sorry, musste kurz gehen. Und Tarzan. Japanische Form. Na, interessant. Japanische Version von Tarzan zu sehen. Well, whatever. If you do go looking, at least send me a message to let me know. Are you going to hurry up or are we going to be late again? A hero is never too early. Oh, warte, falsch betont. A hero is never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when needed. But for the sake of missing the tension, let us hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero genius. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Weil meisten mag was. Sports Nerd und Geek gleichzeitig. Das ist... Ich glaube, das sind zwar Kindesfreunde, aber die haben sich so weit auseinanderentwickelt, dass sie wiederum gut zusammenpassen. Also dieses perfekte Match, das immer da ist. Bei den Kindheitsfreunden und bei den Hauptfiguren der Kindheitsfreundinnen und Freunden. Let's not forget the Casanova and Man of the Year candidate bits. They are important details. I doubt you qualify as either of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before, to school. Ja, Nerda. Merda di Nerda. Okay, sorry. Several hours later. Punkt, Punkt, Punkt. Punkt, Punkt. Ich sehe sie gar nicht mehr. Ich sehe sie nicht. Ja. It had been during the It had been during the afternoon. Also das ist jetzt Erzähler. It had been during the afternoon when I finally had the chance to talk to my classmates in an attempt to get an idea where the shrine Kojomi had mentioned before had been located. Sorry, Würde again. Gym was the last thing on the menu for today, so once we started getting ready to go home, I approached the gas. Ooh. Hey Chikawa, is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to grant you some good luck? Oh, let me guess. What a want to date her. Well, even though I do have to admit she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone.
Not to mention, you're other type.
I already got my hands full dealing with Koyomi. You can keep your sister as she is. Jokes aside, I'm more interested in the shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo.
Well, she said something about it being near the river and quite high up. I'll be honest, I didn't pay too much attention when she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top. It was tight and
Stop! Alter! Der Typ fängt seine Scheiße. Ah Gott! Egal. Stop. We don't need to hear the details. I doubt anyone wants to hear you daydream about your sister, my friend. Anyone else who heard about this shrine before?
Oh.
Na gut, krass wird.
Ale, you're talking about the log shrine del forest.
Yes, the one and only. There's supposed to be one near river according to Ichikawa's sister.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but at least this fairy girl at Azuka Dojo who knows more. Wait, are you talking about Ria-sama, small, strong and scary?
That's the one.
Then I can be of a bit more help.
Nein, ja, doch.
Then I can be of a bit more help, Takiro-kun. I know where the place is.
I don't think Araya-senpai will like it. Falsch. I don't think Araya-senpai will like it if you end up visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do I need to remind you what happened last time we tried to peek at her after she finished her training? There was blood, sweat, and tears.
Shut up, I don't go picking there. That slender that is, I could show you. I do not look into the changing rooms after practice and ideas on my showering.
Then you haven't seen her naked yet?
I've seen a bit of Saipub, but not all I found doesn't really let me get a good view of.
There we go, someone called the cops. Beeping Ichikawa has gone fast. I bothfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder while I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process while I prepared to leave. Anyway, thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation.
This unfair? I was coerced. I won't say another thing until I speak to my lawyers.
Yeah, the lawyers. After school was over, I decided to bet my chance on a little bit of intel I had obtained from my classmates. If my memory served me right, then Araya-senpai was about to be practicing at the dojo today. Oh Gott, wenn ich wieder reden muss hier wieder. Of course I knew her. In the end, she was a judo student like me, but for some reason I heard that she declined the invitation to compete in serious tournaments ever since a certain event happened. Araya-senpai? Araya-senpai, are you around? While I shouted her name, I parked my bike at the nearby stall and looked around for her. Okay. Follow the shouts and you find the senpai. I grinned briefly as I saw my senpai seemingly being occupied with the practice of a series of motions, almost as she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps it was a perfect opportunity to get close to her and surprise her a little. Slowly I snuck over, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached with an hand toward her shoulder. Araya! At a touch against her shoulder, senpai reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and, with a loud crunch, shifted her weight, curling and tipped me over her shoulder. It was all I could do to brace myself for impact as I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes.
No one sticks up to the Kareko Yonisharia! Oh, Takabutsu, I didn't realize it was you! I'm sorry, are you okay?
Okay, ich glaube, ich lasse es. Unoichi, more like Tasmanian devil. That throw didn't hold a shred of mercy in it.
There's no mace in the ring, Takabutsu. Better you learn that lesson now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, right?
I actually came here to ask you something. Warum sieht der Senpai aus, als die Kinder so? Egal. But perhaps a little sparring wouldn't hurt after that.
Oh, what do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon for the sparring and I could do with a bit of break anyway.
Where to start? Senpai used to take part in big and important matches, then you get nervous before that big moment.
Oh yeah! This one time I got so nervous I hit in the kitchen cupboards until that found me and dragged me to the car by my collar. Of course, that was when I was like 8.
8. 8. Alter. Well, obviously I can't go and hide for my match, but some friends of mine made this rather silly suggestion to go and pray or something. Unless at this point I take anything if it calms my nerves a little.
Takabozo, are you sure about this?
You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I could walk. This is my best chance to represent this country and the sport I love to. Senpai seemed to think for a quite long time, all the while tapping at the side of her jaw with a finger, and when she snapped her fingers and grabbed hold of me tightly.
Alright, I tell you the way to the shrine, but it's not just going to be a simple clap your hands together and pop your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of worth.
I guess I figured that out by the time we get there anyway. Thanks, Senpai, I appreciate it.
No, Takamoto, I'm not going with you. I've got training to do myself besides. You've got to take this step yourself. I can give you a map and an easy way to get back there, but you'll be on your own.
You're not tagging along. Guess it'd be my own adventure to undertake.
Afraid so, Takamoto. Let me just grab some paper and draw out your map.
After I yes return, I followed the directions the map had given me. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't all that far. The tip to get back if I got lost was a little sketchy. Just look down and you'll be able to see the dojo roof from anywhere on the hill. The forest nearby the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A long path crawling along the trees. Oh god. And there was even the river Ichigawa sister mentioned in the distance. Of course, I decided to stay with my senpai's directions, and after an hour or so, I arrived at the shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained, despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone secretly lived there. Perhaps some secret martial arts master already daydreams of potential hermit having hidden themselves in the shrine to prepare themselves for an upcoming clash between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. And yet nobody's around. Yeah, I sighed in annoyance at the fact the shrine grounds seemed to be entirely abandoned. It was mysterious how the building seemed well maintained, but for the time being I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It took only a few moments before I gathered the courage to enter the temple itself, and inside found a rather fancy looking shrine. Swords at the back of the hall. Guess that's the shrine everyone's talking about. Suddenly I folded up the map I was given, and after putting it inside my bag approached the shrine. I was kind of I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I didn't have too much confidence in the idea of some shrine granting me the luck I would need to win this match. In fact, I don't really think luck is going to help much in a match like this. In my opinion, martial arts didn't hold any place for luck. A match was all about using the knowledge you gather from the experience you obtained in previous matches, and a nice bit of talent to help guide you through the match. There was simply no room for something superstitious like luck. Clearly this would be a match where my experience and talent would be tested against that of my opponent, nothing more and nothing less. A female 9. How curious. How curious. The boy doesn't even believe in superstition, and yet this child of man stands here in a place of power, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there? A classic question to ask, and yet the right thing to ask would be, where am I? What do you mean? Obviously you're hiding nearby. Perhaps, but to entertain me for a little longer, why did you come here if you do not believe in things like luck? I came here to prepare myself. Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you're preparing yourself for. God. Ich bin zu müde langsam, aber ich muss auch immer noch das Ding hier fertig. I felt a little bit annoyed at the questions, but perhaps if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where that girl was hiding. I'm preparing for a competition, a judo match. Judo what? What's that? Oh Gott, ich versuch's gar nicht mehr weiter. Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha, so you're a warrior. Aha, so you're a warrior. Hesitant to go into battle and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight. I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate. It just happens that there is need for one of your kind. Da fehlt ein D. Liebe Übersetzer, da fehlt ein D. My kin? A hero. This shrine is meant to bless heroes like yourself. However, every great hero has to sacrifice something in return for the shrine's blessing. Sounds like what the others mentioned. However, I do like your version more. Laughing briefly at the story the hidden girl was telling about the shrine, I decided to play along, clap my hands together in a prayer. So, what's next? Does me alliance is the praying box? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice would be something much more interesting and precious to you. I look forward to see what destiny has in store for you. As if one cue, the moment the girl's word reached my ears, I felt nauseous, like my head was spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back, and while my vision started to grow hazy, I heard footsteps approach me. Holy mo! Good luck. Okay, die brauchen eine andere Stimme, aber ich kenne alle hin. Good luck, you're going to need it. Alter! Damn two things up there. Ich frage mich gerade, eine Vision von welcher Art was Sakura Spirit. Ich hoffe, ich werde nichts rausschneiden müssen. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I could do was briefly look up at the girl. The sight of the horns and tail made me wonder if she was cosplaying as some sort of anime character. Before I had the chance to say anything, my wish was consumed entirely by darkness. Okay. Interessant, die ganzen Punkte. Seht ihr diese Kunst? The rays of sunlight that glared into my face stirred me back to consciousness. A groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back onto my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer within the shrine. Rather, it looked like the forest that was surrounding the dojo. Of course, my first thought to look around to see if I could find the same girl from before, but another trace of her presence had lingered behind. To make things even more curious, the old worn-down path that I had followed amidst the trees was better maintained than I remembered. Maybe I should head home. That thought was Kachoa when the sound of several female voices came from nearby.
Get back here! Hey, Kage, stop
them at once! Stern voice.
Just what exactly do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them! I'm trying to stop them!
Never chase. Chase is greed and greed is feed. So, wer den Satz jetzt erkannt hat, der kriegt Respekt.
Yeah, I think this border was missing. Oh, Nesama!
Keep running, Chibikua, and we just might escape. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, there came the sound of heavy footfalls from the forest nearby. Holy! Alter. Also ich habe da mal eine nette Aussicht. Ganz ehrlich jetzt. So, das ist die ganz vorne. Ja. Just a little bit away from the path I was walking on, I saw a pair of girls being chased by another pair of girls. However, there were two things I noticed that didn't make any sense for me. The first thing was that the girls being chased had the ears and the tail of a fox, and the other being that the girls doing the chasing were armed with a katana and a naginata. But what? Alter, langsam das Gefühl, dass das ein bisschen die falsche Art von Spiel ist, um zu Let's Playen, aber egal. Convenient Kitsune, come back here at once, return what you stole immediately. Give it back, bye, bye. Oh God. Ikage, how could you burn out something like that? Oh no, help, save me from while the girls run, oh God. While the girls run away, seemingly into the direction the shrine was located at, I couldn't help but find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. Well, I didn't know what in the world was going on. The fact that two of the girls were armed with rather realistic looking props was sure they couldn't be real. I couldn't compass my hero balance a sequel without acting. I'm so going to regret this on B. Mumbling in annoyance, I started chasing after the girls. Kage, go round to the left. Right. Left, why do you always undermine me? Oh Gami, I wasn't saying right. Unless you know what I mean, never mind, just run after. While I was chasing after girls, I noticed the trees seemingly were getting a little bit denser, making it more difficult to navigate along the path. Oh Nesama, I don't think I can much more. I'm starting to get a little... just a little longer, Maiko. Chan, we're almost Maiko. Maiko not had a shot now. Alter, die rechts. Oh, sieht die gut aus. Sorry, Onesama. Scissor, Schere. I have just time to find the scene straight from an action movie. The fox girl with the blonde hair had collapsed, seemingly being held up in her companion's lap. The two armed girls were approaching them almost unmistakably with killing instincts running amok. Okay. Any martial artist could feel that. Those two girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, face. I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town and have you both stopped. Maybe I'll see how you feel running around without undies on. Oh God. Yeah, although I must admit, having a breeze down there does feel kind of nice. Use a finger for another thing. Goodness, you have no shame, do you? This isn't about your manners, this is about pants and breasts. Also, die lege ich einfach Bras an, aber egal. And these two criminals being brought to justice. Now, there's a might word my headphones. Shh, it's going to be okay, Chibiku. Hey, you guards, if you're so despair to have your underwear back, then here, catch. Look right there. However, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired fox girl was a pair of foxes in the air. It's even never heard that two samurai girls and lost the fantastic bojack. Watch it, I was touching and was heading to my face. I didn't do it, I'll toss it. You have to protect that from my face. Alright, like a fishing 74 while till him time the watcher made their escape. A pig friend. Oh boy, I just noticed what's going down well. Hi you there, are you in cahoots with these crafty kitsune? Give us back immediately, those are evidence of a crime and not for anyone else to... That's a funny right now! I'm used to the broom guilty, want them to go on the rules of court. Now stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over you or this without being turned into kebab. What? No, stop, shut up, just drop the hammer and walk away. I'm Alter, Tsukino Mio, chief of the village guards, and I'm ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt the cop will go around dressed like that and wielding a katana. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. You're sure I should drop the evidence? I mean, I could, but... Yeah! For a good right, the pink-haired woman flung towards me despite a friendly jet I aimed for my gut. Oh. Our effects caught just in time and I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I shot upwards the wind shaft of the weapon, sending it up in the air and unbalancing the woman. Narumi, I did not order you to attack. Fine, I'll give them back. Jeez, just my luck to find the girls with weapons to be tsundere ones. Deciding to extend the hand that held the girls around this, I tried to hand them over, something that I would soon end up regretting. Thinking I'd fall for something so simple. You may have fooled me once, but not twice. The woman saw her white, arsing the thick wooden pole to my side before I could dodge. She then launched forwards and grabbed my tail, pulling my arms around my back, leaving me with squares or ribs and in a prone position. I could have fought back, but figured it would only lead to more fighting and possibly being stabbed, which I could do without, so I remained passive. Sword-wielding girls stepped forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. Your methods might be cruel, but they get results, Hikage. Bind his wrists will bring him in for questioning. And he probably know where those Alter, ich hab diese Wort nie gehört. Pesky thieves have been hiding. Right. And people wonder why criminals would resist at all costs. And now about weekly, while I watched a girl with the Hinata tie my wrists together with some rope she had concealed somewhere, I hope it was meant for actual criminals, and soon felt myself dragged by the duo towards the direction of the city. Surely once we arrive at the city, you two will stop this role playing of yours and let me go, alright? As much as I like to fool around, I got more important things to do. The city, we're not talking you all that way. You spent the day in the field with yourselves, thief. Thief! Who are you calling a thief? I'm a victim. First I thought something on my face, then I had to deal with physical abuse, and now even slander. Besides, there's no wheelchair on this part. It's the city, you know, Tsukino Toshi. Silence Hikage. If he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock you unconscious. Oh! Tsundere tyrant. Yeah, that's funny. And that's how I was on my way to the jail cell. Go off the drag by the girls at the start. The suspect were pretty much crazy in the head. Okay, gut, an diesem Punkt beenden wir das Let's Play für heute und Save. So, und jetzt, ja, ciao, bis zum nächsten Mal.